Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the School Science. My name is Luke and this is the pre-match for Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Now, after that not so great result against Arsenal, being that we lost 4-0, one of the goals being an unfortunate mistake, and to be honest, first half an hour to 40 minutes, we seemed like a fairly dominant side. We were able to actually hold our own, and then things went just south so quick. I mean, it's not a great result. The scoreline was absolutely abysmal. It's not the Everton result that you want. I mean, if we were going to losing 1-0 or 2-0, yeah, that's understandable. But 4-0, there's got to be some questions asked in regards to that. Maybe it was just the confidence just sort of went out the window. The head dropped after the second goal, and then things after that just went to shit, to put it nicely. But yeah, that game's in the past now. We need to look forwards and go up against Nottingham Forest now. Now, Nottingham Forest, they're not in a great position at the moment. They are 13th. So if we are to pull off a win now, we can throw them into the mix with us. However, their home form is absolutely, well, it's one of the best in the league at the moment. And to tell you the God's honest truth, the fans of Nottingham Forest at home are very similar to how Everton's fans are at Goodison. It's an absolute bear pit when you go into that stadium. You're rather close to the pitch. The fans are pretty much on top of you, so it is a certain intimidation factor alongside that. So that's definitely something to take into account. And Nottingham Forest themselves, they've got a few decent players there. I mean, Chris Wood, for one, being one of the focal points at the very top. I regard him quite highly. He's a New Zealand footballer. He's a decent striker, to tell you the God's honest truth. I would have liked Everton to have went for him, but in all fairness, he's the sort of player that you put for someone for mid-table who are trying to grow. And that would have been ideal for us for this season. What we wanted to do at the end of last season into this season is just not try and push forwards and then try and see if we can throw ourselves full steam ahead into European football again, but try and push ourselves into mid-table. Just get ourselves there, build on that again, and push higher up, build on that. And then by the time we're at Bramley-Moore, hopefully we were going to get ourselves into them European football sort of spots. But that hasn't been the case, unfortunately, at this point in time. So right now, it is quite literally just damage control for the rest of the season. Try and survive. And the only way we can do that is by winning games. So the likes of just a game making those silly errors that end up leading to goals, like the one at Brighton, the one at Arsenal, those things need to try and come to an end. Now, bear in mind, although he has made these mistakes, he's still what is considered a good player for us. He's got a good eye. He's very aggressive. He's able to cut out attacks and try and interrupt play. However, as we've seen, he has one to two errors in a game, and it's kind of, worrying when we see that. And while we're missing Calvert-Lewin, we seem to be missing quite a decent goal threat. So we have got Neil Maupay. That is one thing to take into account, but unfortunately, he's just not growing into the goal scorer that we need right now. So we need to try and look at another avenue. And in all honesty, a lot of the other players have sort of stepped up to the plate, and they've definitely stepped up their game. So the likes of Seamus Coleman, he's definitely stepped up to the plate. He has dialed himself up a few notches, and he's put in his last years as a footballer pretty much compiled into this season. He's putting everything he can on the pitch, and he's going off that pitch absolutely exhausted and then going in a few days later and doing the same thing again. So he's one I would like to, if he was watching, I'd like to thank him, because he has done absolutely magnificent for us, and he has been the true antithesis of what Evertonians want in Everton players. They don't want fancy football. We don't want players, being able to bloody frolic around the pitch, doing bloody step-overs, flick-flacks, Cruyff turns, doing any of that sort of rubbish. We don't need that stuff. What we need is hard-working, people who are willing to put themselves in, just grind out games sort of players who are going to put 100% in every single game. We don't want skill. We want graft. That's all we want. And Seamus Coleman has definitely proved himself to be like that over the years. He hasn't got many tricks up his sleeve, but he's fast, he's strong, and he knows how to play the game. That's all we ask for. In regards to Tarkowski, again, decent player. He's doing his job. He's getting in the way of the ball. He's blocking it. He's moving up. And he's definitely a goal threat when it comes to corners. He likes to hang around the back post, and he likes to try and get a head on it. It's unfortunate, though, that we're just not able to get more conversions from all the other players on the pitch. And I will say as well, McNeil, although he is pretty much left-footed as can be, as I've said many a times before, he's a player who I am delighted with at the moment. He's definitely putting himself on that pitch. He's getting up that field. He's putting crosses in. We just need someone to convert it. Now, personally, I would say Ellis Sims is the ideal candidate. I mean, what we could do at a push is revert to 4-4-2 and have Sins and Mope in the same squad, or I should say same 11, and just have the two of them try and feed off each other. All he has to do, Neil Mope roams around that box, tries to distract defenders. Ellis Sims then can be, given that little bit more space, and he can actually use his height to get up and get a head in if needs be, or get something on the ball. But as a whole, this is going to be a critical game for Everton. This is definitely the make or break game. I've not said that too much, that it's going to be make or break games in the past, but this is one of the critical ones. We're coming to the latter stages of the season, and I hate to say it, but if we don't get a result out of this, I don't even think a draw is enough to help us. But if we don't get a positive result out of this being a win, then unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we could potentially go down. And I don't want to be the guy saying that. I know a lot of other Everton fans say that, and I want to try and have a positive spin on things. But if we don't get a win, if we are able to grind out a 1-0 win, that would mean the absolute world for the Evertonians. So that's all we want. We just want you to grind out a 1-0 win. We don't care about bloody multiple goals. Just find that one goal and just close the game out. Park the bus if needs be. Just see that game out then. Get the first goal, hold the game out. That's all I ask for, personally. And I know Nottingham Forest are definitely one of those teams where they can leak a goal here and there. So if we're able to get someone to get that goal, that's it. Do that, shut up shop, and call it at that. Now, I'm going to make a little predicted start lineup as we normally do. So for Everton, I'm thinking that we're going to probably go with the similar sort of lineup that we normally do. But there's going to be a slight twist. It's obviously going to be 4-1-4-1 as we normally do. So being Pickford in goal as usual. I'm going to say... Holgate on right back. Tarkowski, Cody... Actually, no, not Cody, sorry. Mina and Godfrey as back four. Now, all four of them are centre-backs, so it's going to be a flat back four that are going to try and keep the defence as a defence, because that seems to be the area where we seem to be leaking. It's just errors that come out of the defence, whether it be wide or narrow. There's errors somewhere along the line, and if we've got a flat back four, it'll make it a lot harder for them to break down. So those guys will act as a decent back four. And then from there, Godfrey or Holgate can actually move up the field if they need to and come back when they need to. Because you've got a defensive mindset that we can utilise, it's hopefully going to be a little bit stronger than having Coleman and Mikalenko. Now, I would probably be looking at giving Tarkowski the armband, the captain's armband. I would never give it to a goalkeeper just for the fact that your goalkeeper is the furthest point away from the action. They are at their goal. They cannot dictate or tell players what to do when they are in the goal. So I'd rather see Tarkowski, who's someone who actually does get up a little bit. So he sort of blurs the line between defence and midfield. So seeing him as the captain would be a lot more beneficial than saying the likes of Pickford, even though it's only about 10, 15 yards ahead. But yeah. So in the midfield, I would say... I'm going to put Decore as right midfielder. Bring Iwobi into the middle, so have him as the focal point in the midfield. Have Jesse Gay as number 6, Onana and McNeil as the other two of the midfield, and then have Ellis Sims up top. I want to see Ellis Sims more often than Mope, in all fairness. Mope is getting better, but he's just not the goal threat that we have right now, all we need. We need someone who's a lot more taller, physical, and more demanding in that regard. Whereas, again, Mope, he's 5'8", he's smaller than me, he's a decent player, don't get me wrong, but against 6-foot defensive opposition, and one thing to note as well, Nottingham Forest have got Shelvey, John Joe Shelvey. he hates Everton with a passion. He is more than happy to throw legs in. So someone like Neil Maupay, I would see him probably he would more than likely come off injured due to that sort of thing because, I mean, last season when Shelvey was with Newcastle, he did that. I think he did it to Richarlison, if I'm not mistaken. He pretty much hacked him down from the back and we ended up having to bring him off injured. So these are the sort, I mean, having Ellis Sims up there, I think with his slightly more physical presence, he might be able to fend off Shelvey a little bit better than how Maupay would do it. Now, granted, Maupay could probably just be like a little irritant in his ear and actually get Shelvey to foul him, you know, have Forest give away fouls in certain areas, but I don't see it happening, to be honest. I mean, this is the thing. Maupay was meant to be brought into the squad as an attacking option who is a bit of a gobshite in a shithouse. He's one of those sorts of players who will annoy the hell out of the opposition defense, make them focus on him, you know, try and hack him down, injure him, or try and send a message, and it frees up a little bit of space for Calvert-Lewin. That was what was meant to probably happen. But unfortunately, we just haven't been able to utilize it because Calvert-Lewin, unfortunately, he seems to have bones of biscuits and hamstrings made out of tissue paper. But on the other note of that one, apparently Sean Dyche says he'll see on whether Calvert-Lewin will be fit enough to actually make it into the squad. I'm sorry I'm yawning heaps yesterday, I don't know why. But yeah, in regards to on the bench, I know for a fact James Garner will be on the bench. He's apparently been doing some first team training, so you're going to probably see him in there. So I would probably say later on in the game, take Idrissa Gueye off and bring James Garner on. Either that or Onana, because so far Onana has started every single game since the Merseyside derby. He has been an absolute critical part of the Everton infrastructure, and seeing him out of our lineup just seems alien at this point. Now, in regards to Nottingham Forest, this is the predicted lineup that I've pulled off the internet. So you got Navas, Williams, Worrell, Felipe, Lodi, I'm going to try and say that name, Freela, Shelvey, Mangala, Johnson, Gibbs-White, and Woods. So you're going to have Gibbs-White, Johnson, and Woods up top. So it's going to probably be like a 4-4-3 sort of formation. Now, that is... It's good in the sense that we can overrun their midfield. However, it's not so great because if they're able to actually break our back line, they've got three options there to try and score. And as I said, Gibbs, White, Johnson and Woods, Brendan Johnson, sorry, and Woods are the decent strikers. So they've definitely got a goal in them somewhere. So we need to try and shut that out as soon as possible. So try and, as I said, first goal, get the fucking the bus parked, shut up shop, do what we need to do, and just see out a 1-0 win. I would rather see that rather than us try and chase for a second or a third goal, because when we do that, we're going to be leaving ourselves open for a counter, and chances are we'd end up losing 2-1. Now, in terms of prediction, I'm hoping for an Everton 1-0 win. That's all I'm hoping for. But yeah, guys, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you like it, you know what to do. You know, like, share, subscribe, and all that lovely, jubbly stuff. There's going to be a Bramley Moore video coming out Sunday, so that one you can look forward to. I'm going to do it earlier than usual, so I'm going to try and wind it back to the Sunday 9 a.m. slot, because why not? I mean, unfortunately, I'm not even going to be able to see this bloody Nottingham Forest game. I'm going to see the first half an hour to an hour, so the first half more than likely, because I am going to be playing football myself. So we are going to be playing... I'm playing for the Rainbow Toffees, so these guys, yeah. Going to be playing for them. We're going to be playing against RED, and that's going to be at Northwich. So if you guys are in and around that area and you want to watch the game, please come along, show some support. We do need the support at the moment. I would honestly appreciate it, just seeing some fans down there to watch. But yeah, anyway, guys, I would like to thank you all very much for watching. Sorry, this one's a little bit shorter than usual. I'm just trying to sort out too many things at once at the moment. My little ADHD brain is currently running 10,000 miles a minute. So, got to work around all that rubbish. But in any case, guys, I'd like to thank you all again very much for watching. I'm going to see you all in the next video. So, take care and peace.